Welcome to Three Geeks Podcast Reviews. Blacklist Season 3, Episode 3. Sorry if I seem a little pensive at the moment. It's because up until probably the last 15, 20 minutes of the episode, it was a very mediocre episode. I mean, it was, I would say, honestly, at the beginning, it was mostly filler. I mean, they tried to expand a bit on Agent Keen. As well, they tried to, what else? I mean, they really didn't do much. I mean, I guess trying to play wrestler and kind of getting Tom Keen involved. But again, that was the end of the last episode, and he just basically said, no, go away. And then you had, I mean, essentially the episode was them trying to blackmail the Cabal out, Dembe. That was actually the most interesting, well, not interesting, but the best revelation before the last little bit of the episode, because he actually recognized that Dembe was missing, and then had, I don't remember the guy's name, honestly, his search guy, I mean the guy who can find the needle in the haystack essentially, and he finally found Dembe and passed it on to Reddington, kind of what's going on, though I'm not sure. They didn't really hint, they left it vague, I'll say that, as to whether or not he knows who that is. Overall, so I would say up until the last 20 minutes, I would have given the episode a 7 out of 10, honestly. I mean, the moments seem to be rehashes, for the most part, of characters. You really weren't seeing anything new. Wrestler was the same guy. Let's see who else. You had Agent Keen kind of exploring the same thing she's been exploring since she shot the Attorney General, as well as Reddington just being Reddington. Again, always with that side angle. But what was interesting was his side angle ended up being, and I think they're trying to change the formula, because essentially that's what this episode felt like, but I felt like they're trying a little too hard. So like even with the last 20 minutes, I'm only going to give it up to a 7.5 out of 10. I definitely think the last 20 minutes, it might not have been 20 minutes, honestly. It might have been like 10 minutes. Was impressive. I like the fact that they turned it on its head very quickly, to kind of say that, because I was going to say this villain was the worst villain they've ever had, because I was like, this guy is cliche, he's stereotypical, he's boring. I was like, he just wants to destroy the world. It was like, doesn't even make sense for his character, because if you were to actually release it publicly, you would destroy Verdiant, the company. And then when they kind of turned it on and kind of said, well, actually, it was an internal person, the CTO hired him to release this virus that they already created a cure for. And I was like, that's genius. And sort of with the Blacklist, it kind of fits. As far as it goes, this has definitely been the weakest of the season. Though, again, the end, they're starting to say, and it's interesting, I want to see it go a few more episodes before I commit to this, but it seems like they're going to try and push Agent Keen and kind of see if she stops becoming Agent Keen, basically the FBI agent with a heart of gold, and ends up changing into, I don't know, the criminal, I guess. Agent Keen, or not even Agent Keen, Elizabeth Keen, the criminal. Because she basically shot a police officer. Not point blank, and it wasn't quite cold-blooded. It was relative self-defense, and she didn't know it was a cop. But as they're progressing things, so initially she shot the Attorney General, who was obviously evil. This guy, she shot for self-defense. But if you see her, she's slowly starting to creep that along, and I'm kind of interested where they go with that. They bought Paul Rubens back. At least for a short cameo. We'll see kind of where they're going. The Cabal really wants to get Dembe to talk, which I don't understand why. Because at this point, I can't imagine that Dembe has so much information. Or, like, how is he getting information to Dembe before that? And now that he knows Dembe's gone, any information Dembe had is useless. And I'm guessing they're going to resolve that fairly quickly in the next episode or two. Simply because at this point, now that Reddington knows he's gone, any information that Dembe could provide would be useless, because I'm pretty sure Reddington has a whole separate plan. So I'm not really sure where they're going with that. At times, Elizabeth Keen's character has been so I definitely kind of want to see them progress with that more as well. Otherwise, I mean, I definitely like the way they've turned it on its head and kind of, rather than Elizabeth King be the, well, she's still the focus, but rather than her being the focus and trying to understand her world, it is now her world is turned upside down. How does she understand it? Um, and how does she deal with it? Which is very interesting. And I think it's something I will enjoy kind of seeing them explore and seeing where they can go with future episodes. And again, if there's anybody out there that has any other theories, I would love to hear it. I'm just kind of trying to voice my opinion and voice my ideas and kind of see if there's anything else that anyone agrees with, disagrees with. I'd love to hear that, whether that be on YouTube. You can email me at Geek News 2014. Oh, actually, no. The better one is 3geekspodcast@gmail.com. That'll actually get to me much quicker. As well, if there's anything you want to say, please, you can leave a comment at the YouTube and I'll get to it and I'll address it in my next video. I might end up trying to bring Jason along. I'll have to see if he's caught up. And so if I don't see any interest, please like if you kind of want me to keep it going right after the show. Or if you kind of want it later. As anyone who's listening to me on iTunes obviously gets it later, or even Stitcher. But again, if you are listening to us on there, please rate and review us. It really helps a lot. We really appreciate it because we're just trying to get more exposure and kind of, share our thoughts with everyone. And just by us being higher, we get more attention, and that's awesome. At some point, I'm still trying to figure out, I'm the technical guy of the group, and so I'm trying to figure out how to activate our fan funding. And once we do that, we'll actually let you all know that. And again, I hope you'll enjoy. If you have anything you want to let me know, feel free. Send me an email or leave me a comment. All right. Have a good night.